So grace and peace to those who do the will of our Father Yahweh in heaven. So I want to bring up this recent situation with Azealia Banks, and apparently she has had a rough experience over there in the land of Israel, and I guess you could say she had her Negro wake up call or her Hebrew Israelite wake up call. But at the same time, it even though it would appear that she would know that these people are not for her, she's still. I'm just going to highlight this tweet later, but this isn't the one that I actually wanted to point out. She still seems to be on Israel's side, and I'm not sure if she is a paid shill or what, but things are getting interesting with her. One more thing before I get into the meat of the topic. I do not necessarily trust her too because she is a witch. I know that she does voodoo and sacrificing chickens and stuff like that. So I wouldn't put it past her to be, I guess you could say, a double agent, you know. And you just know, you never know who you can trust these days. And I really don't trust any celebrities who have sold their soul. But moving on past that, she, as Kim Iverson has pointed out, I can't forget to give her credit because this is her video. Azealia Banks went to Israel as a Israel supporter, a staunch Israel supporter, and the topic of or the conversation of black Jews came up, and she was met with a lot of pushback, a lot of hatred, a lot of anger, and it surprised her because as she understood it, anybody who wanted to be a Jew or claimed to be a Jew could be a Jew. She didn't know that it was an exclusive thing. And we all understand that it is an exclusive thing. It is actually, in reality, an exclusive thing. You can't really just convert to a bloodline. But she understood the state of Israel as being anybody who wanted to be a Jew could just return to Israel and be Jewish. And that's not how it works out, as she found out, because they only accept you as a Jew if you are light enough or white enough, I should just say, European enough. And they're claiming that they have the DNA that links them back to the Israelites of the past. As you see in the tweet here, this man says, "You are straight up making up stuff. Judaism started in the Levant. Ethiopian and black Jewish communities aren't direct descendants of African religions. Ancient African religions aren't Israelite. I'm sorry, his punctuation is kind of off. Let me start over. So most black Jewish communities aren't direct descendants. Ancient African religions aren't Israelite Judaism and black Arab. So he just there's no punctuation there. It's kind of weird. And black Arab or Arab people have zero claim to being Israelites. That's a lie. And unlike them, Ashkenazim have majority Levantine ancestry. That's another lie. Genesis chapter 10, verse 3 will tell you that Ashkenazi are Gentiles and descendants of Japheth. And so black people are actually the ones with the DNA that goes back to that area. And not only that, but black people are the only ones, especially those who are descendant of the transatlantic slave trade and the Arab slave trade, are the only people who fulfill Bible prophecy about Egypt in the end times. They're the only people who fulfill Luke 21:24, being scattered into all nations, taken captive, okay, captive, prisoner, enslaved into all nations. That didn't happen to any other people. They are the only people who fulfilled Genesis 15:13, and that is being in a land that is not theirs and serving and being afflicted for 400 years. It was not fulfilled in Egypt, and it was not fulfilled by any other group of people. It was only fulfilled by that one was only fulfilled by black Americans. and or any other people in the transatlantic and Arab slave trades. So let me see, what was the real? So here was another. I was reading. Do you have any real reason to believe that blacks are more related to ancient Israelites than Jews are? So she's starting to get kind of grilled about her post that black people can be Jews too or Jewish also. Why is it just exclusive to the Europeans? You know, and she's she's kind of getting a wake up call, but at the same time, as I'll point out later on, she goes back to kind of glazing up those European people, and I'm not sure if maybe that's because she's still controlled and she has to do that. But let me see if I can find. I'm going to share. Actually, I'm going to share this audio from a space that she did and let you hear that. So let me play it.
This. So I was hanging out with friends yesterday, this Israeli girl that I know, and we were talking about wigs, and she was like, "Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Black Americans here that play basketball, and there's like girls here that play basketball. You should hit them up, you know." They will know how to get like the wig, like the good, like American wig, you know, Black American wiggery. So I just kind of said on Twitter, I was like, "Oh, I gotta find the Black Americans in Israel." I wasn't even talking about Black Hebrew Israelites or anything. I was talking about just like girls probably from, I don't know, like Atlanta or Tennessee that are like here playing on some basketball team, and that's all I was talking about. I was talking like, just about just like general Black Americans, not Black American Hebrew Israelites or anything like that. So this one guy jumps in and he's just like, "Oh yeah, the black there's a community of 5,000 Black Hebrew Israelites who believe that they are the true descendants of da 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 da, but they only started in 1969 and And I was like, okay, cool, yeah, that's fine, whatever. But you know, obviously, when somebody challenges somebody's like Black identity, I feel a way, and because I understand Black identity, so I'm like, all right, no, let me explain this to you about the concept of an Israelite as it pertains to like Pan Africanism and just, yeah, and Black jewelry, really. So, you know, I get that everybody has this like contemporary idea of just like this little patch of land, like Palestine or the Levant, Israel, whatever. But most of the like Black Hebrew Israelites and people like that, they're thinking about Israelites as like a grouping of people that were stretching all the way down from like Lebanon down into the kingdom of Kush. You know, that's where all the and Ethiopia, that's where all the Rastafarian Israelitism and the Black Hebrew Israelitism, like most, well, I don't know what Black churches are doing now, but I know that my grandmother and my like Black Christian family, they use the Hebrew Bible. And there's mad slave songs written about the promised land and Zion and all that other shit. And we have like all these churches. It's like Zion, Church of Zion, da da da. And yeah, that's what they call themselves. They call themselves Israelites, not because they're like trying to take claim to Israel or whatever. And one of my friends hit me up and they were just like, going really hard. And I was just like, that's not really what I'm saying. And they were just like, oh, well, people have been saying that we have no claim to the land. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's first off, that's not where any. Oh my god, that's not where I was going with that. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like I don't even like fucking know. And it just became like one thing after another, piling up in the rabbinic debates, and I'm just like, damn, the Jews really like they could really argue, you know. And then some guy jumps in and he's like, oh, well, Ethiopians aren't descendant from the thing. And I'm just like, all right, this is another attack on just like some Black identity. And this is kind of just like egging me right now. Like, so I got into the whole thing. I'm just like, honey, everything comes from Africa. Like, like, I know people, I know, I know. But it's true. And y'all know it's true. Everything does come from Africa. I'm not a Black Hebrew Israelite. Hold on. I'm not a Black Hebrew Israelite, y'all. I'm not gonna come here and be like, oh, I'm the real Jew. No, I never fucking said that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, and I don't agree that they're like the real Jews, but if they feel like they have some sort of like spiritual identity to the shit and it makes them happy and it makes them feel whole and they want to live in Israel and pay taxes and all that, then what's the problem? I mean, like what is the problem? And just like all of the comments about like Ethiopian jewelry and everybody was just like, oh, they're not descendants and all that. Like, that was offensive. It's just like, damn, haven't Jews had it bad enough? Like, you're trying to kick the Ethiopians out of the jewelry? Like, that don't make no sense. And the guys started going on and on about like, oh, well, the DNA, the DNA, the DNA. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, not to be a smartass, but if you're gonna make like somebody's jewelry based on DNA and you're like an Ashkenazi Jew, then I mean, technically, technically these Palestinians have like Semitic DNA.
That's right. And that is, she kind of says, well, it's not about the DNA. It's not about the DNA. Like, who cares? But because if it is about the DNA, then Palestinians are more Jewish than you, Ashkenazis. But it is about the DNA. It has to be about the DNA. You have to make it about the DNA because they make it about the DNA. I mean, if
All right, so that was one of the what I wanted to share from her, and I'm sorry that I stopped the clip kind of early because I thought it was over, but I know she was still speaking. So let's say, I mean, let's see. So she went on this post here on X. She said that she repeated a claim that a BHI had deleted a Jew in New Jersey, and that was false. The man who did that was not a so-called BHI. Oops, I accidentally went back. I wanted to stay on her account. Let's see here. I'm glad I didn't lose her. I'm not sub to her, so I can't find her. I might just end up following her just to see what goes on. But as you can see later on in her timeline, she kind of goes back to being pro Israel or pro Israeli. And as you heard her say in that Twitter space or the X space, she has one of her friends. So I mean, one of her friends that came to her and started saying things about her. Uh, how what she was saying was negatively affecting them, and so you know she's surrounded by these people, and so I understand she's in a situation where in the industry you're surrounded by them, these rich and powerful people, and you're going to find them among those rich and powerful people. And because y'all know I'm not BHI, low key got a kick out of low key got a kick out of trying to check me. Yeah, okay, I didn't understand this. Anyway, I'm going to find out. I'm going to find that tweet where she was saying that she was still okay. So here she posts. She has a flag in her post. So it looks like she's still trying to stay good with them. And it's hard to really to know for sure exactly what's going on with that. Either she's one afraid of those people, two she's going to go broke if she doesn't continue to support them. Because you know, as they would make you do, they would make you go on an apology tour if you offend them, and if you want to stay in their graces, you're going to have to take back everything you said and all of that. So we'll see what she does. If she kind of still, um, so she said something real perverted. She really glazing up those Jewish men over there, and so if she still kind of tries to stay in their good graces, she could really be lost in the sauce. She could really be drinking the Kool Aid, or she's just afraid of them. Or I guess a more devious third option is she could do all of this just to bring Hebrew Israelites into the spotlight, and then that can be used to somehow slander or to make his Hebrew Israelites look bad and the public somehow it could be a trap if you know what I mean. So that's a possibility as well. But I think it's more likely the case where she is still somewhat drinking the Kool-Aid and she is also afraid of these people because she's surrounded by them. So I don't believe she's ever going to completely drop the support of them, uh, and she may not even ever bring up Hebrew Israelites again, for all we know. But the only reason why she's probably bringing them up now is because she's on defense. So yeah, so she repeats the whole "Bless Israel, and it will bless you" thing. I think she's and what was she? Here it is. I'm really happy I came. That's what I'm looking for. I'm really happy I came for music and for freedom's sake. So I think she's still trying to stay out of trouble. But she put her foot in it. You know, she stepped in it. She stepped in it with those people, with them folks. So anyway, I hope we woke now and bro, bro Tim and Benea Israel get a hold of this and discuss it because there's a lot really that they can get into. So I'm going to bring the video to a close. To those who do the will of our Father in heaven, may our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, Jesus Christ, bless you.